This video will be directed at Purple, Magic Gathering Purple. Could be directed at anybody though. Anybody dealing with moderator bullshit. The thing about it is that I have no doubt that Magic the Gathering Lion could win his lawsuit. In fact, I hope he does. I'm 99% sure he will, and I'm glad Wizards of the Coast is finally going to get what's coming to them after decades of, their evil criminal, just scheming and weaseling. The thing about all of it is that moderators are nothing new. Nothing new under the sun. Fucking, they've been banning people for years and years, and they shouldn't be. But they've been getting away with it because they always targeted individuals. You look at the internet 10 years ago, and it wasn't about having wrongthink. It was about being a troll, which was wrongthink. But they always targeted individuals as being a troll or a spammer or a bot or something else they could accuse them of that had no basis in reality, but dehumanized them. It depersonalized them into an apparatus that gave them legal grounds to just abuse them. Now, the problem here is that when you do that, you take away liability from them as well. So then when, let's say for example on Reddit, because we know what happens on Reddit, someone posts ISIS recruitment or child porn, really bad shit, that becomes their liability. That becomes entirely their legal responsibility, because you cannot target an individual that does not exist under the law. If you ban them, they're not a person. Legally speaking, if they're not a person, it's too bad. Too bad. But whatever content they produced becomes your liability. It's on you. There's no way around that. The only way you could get around that is if they were a person and were an individual, and the company would be like, well, go figure out who did it over there. Leave me alone. But if you do that, you can't be banning people. Ever. Ever. But you did. Every single website is guilty of this in one regard or another. Some more so than others, admittedly. But every single website has done this. And in doing so, now we've created this sort of juggling a bunch of balls in their hand dynamic where everyone's trying to place blame. Wizards of the Coast isn't even an individual company. It is owned by Hasbro. So Wizards of the Coast, in my mind, I'm assuming, is going to try to pawn off all the legal, mumbo jumbo and all of the legal fees to Hasbro, who owns Wizards of the Coast, to take away some of the pounding they're going to get. And Hasbro has more than enough lawyers and more than enough money to be like, fuck you, that's not happening. And they will probably make it target Wizards of the Coast, and Wizards of the Coast will lose a lot of money, might have to sell Magic the Gathering or D&D. Wouldn't that be something? I would appreciate that. And, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm not psychic. What I can tell you, though, is that mankind has a way of ruining everything. You think I'd be much happier about your average person talking about moderators. Took them like 15 fucking years, so that's part of the disappointment, is I've been saying this since I was a wee lad. A woo lad. And nobody listened. Nobody cared. They thought I was talking out my ass. They thought that I was just being salty. Oh, you got banned because you're an asshole. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Being an asshole is not against the law. Have had judges personally tell me that. But regardless, I know how people operate. And people have a way of sticking their dick where it doesn't belong. And they're going to stick their dick in this, and they're going to ruin it somehow. I don't care. Just glad to see moderators gotten rid of. Don't care how it's done. Don't care what the future holds. However, I know they're going to end up twisting and turning and corrupting this somehow, where the average person will be affected. There's a multiple number of ways this could operate in the foreseeable future. For example, they might rule that people are persons online. That would benefit social media. That would benefit social media a lot, that you or I or anybody else would have to use our real name if we're going to be online. And if we use aliases, they're going to try to shimmy sham and figure out who we are and hold us accountable despite the fact that we tried our damnedest to stay anonymous. This could have a lot of legal consequences that many are not prepared for. And, it could go the other way, and everyone is anonymous. Nothing is for certain, and there's a whole lot of doxing and DDoSing and hacking, and just government, lifts up his hands and says, oh well, that Wild West style mentality. And either way, it benefits capitalism. Either way, it benefits somebody. Somebody's going to make money. But we've reached a point where it's not even about money, because people are that maniacal and that egotistical where it's not enough for them to make lots of money. Wizards of the Coast makes lots of money. They make money off Magic, they make money off D&D, they make money off the participants, and it's not enough for them. No, because they want to control the narrative. They want to be like, you're going to be SJW like us, or else you're not going to be able to play. And you cannot sustain a system like that. Doesn't matter what it is. And Reddit gets away with it because Reddit is making money off of its concept as this SJW 4chan, essentially. And 4chan gets away with it because 4chan is known for its pseudo-alt-right, degenerate, pornographic bullshit. And, but my point is that you reach this point where you're going to reach a cap in how much money you make regardless. Even if, let's say, you appeal to everybody. You're just like, not going to ban anybody, not going to alienate anybody. Eventually, you're going to run out of people. You're going to run out of people that put money into your product. And they know this. So for them, it wasn't about money. They have money. They have their nice houses. They have enough financial stability to last them for the rest of their life. They're done. But now at this point, it's about control. And control doesn't have to necessarily come from profit margins or shareholders or new business models or anything like that. Control is simply the matter of enforcing your ethical standard on another person, and if they don't adhere to that ethical standard, they're going to have a bad time, and you're going to bully them, and you're going to push them around. And you are seeing that more and more in this late stage capitalism. Now, see, just these kinds of words alone is going to make people pull back and be like, he's talking about capitalism, he's talking about stages and all this Marxist terminology. He's just a communist. And blah, blah, blah. Well, all of this is true whether or not you want it to be. Whether or not you agree with Marx's words, whether or not you agree with the billions and billions killed under Stalin and Mao and Hitler, none of that matters. Facts are facts. What is. And there's no way around that. And what is this is a chaotic, unsustainable system that only breeds darkness and despair wherever it goes. You cannot even in peace consume your product because there's a bunch of moderators dicking around, and these moderators are very bad people. They're pedophiles, they're criminals, they're sociopaths. Again, to varying degrees, depends on who's running what. Obviously, some stupid kid running a Minecraft server cannot be compared to a Reddit admin who probably has a terabyte of child porn on his computer as we speak. But the point is, this destruction will leave a trail. If there is a moderator, there will be a trail of destruction wherever he walks. And this will continue until the courts and the entirety of the government around the world, not just in America, not just Canada, not just Europe, until the world makes a decision about our relationship with each other and with ourselves online. Until we determine what it means to be a person, legally speaking, online, none of this will get solved. And that's why these court dates have to happen. Whether or not I or you or anybody wants them to, they have to happen. And you're just postponing the inevitable by saying, oh, well, you shouldn't be a troll online. You shouldn't be an asshole. Blah, blah, blah. You're just postponing the inevitable decline of your little SJW escapade system. Because it's got to happen. It's got to happen. And you might not be ready for what happens. I'm not even ready. And I have a pretty good idea of what would probably happen. But things have been known to surprise you. Life's full of surprises, not good surprises either. So, just giving you that forewarning. And, you can make of this video what you want. You can think I'm talking out of my ass. God knows I've heard that a billion times. Or you can agree with me. You can like and subscribe. I don't know when I'm gonna make videos. You can, I don't really care. I don't need your approval. I've been banned from so many websites throughout the years that I would be richer than Bill Gates and fucking, Steve Jobs combined, with all the backwash I would make in return for all the bans I received if I was considered a legal person. But the point of the matter is that things have to change. You might not like the change. You might not be ready for the change, but things have to change, and they will change. It's just a matter of when and if. So, the bread and butter of this video is that while you all are picking sides and acting like your opinion matters on, oh, well, it's their private forum and their website. No. The legal matter is that under the law, if you ban people, you are liable. If you don't ban people, they are liable. That's it. It will change the way the internet works in its entirety. Either there won't be social media, there won't be chat rooms or forums. There might be, but they're going to be a lot more lowbrow. They're going to be hidden from the public. You're going to hear about them in whispers between friends. Kind of like the early 90s internet. Actually worse than that, because anybody could go online in the early 90s and you could find the shit. Things like Discord will be much more prevalent, but they'll be under, fucking VPNs and other things to try to hide them. That way they can enforce their rules and try their damnedest to have plausible deniability, while at the same time, running things as they always were before, where people just shit posted and memes, whatnot. You might see ultra consumerism in a different way that you could approve of. Video games, again, memes, shit like that. Memes are not a social media. You're just posting a funny picture. But the interactions between people, between legal persons, will change. And you need to consider that. You need to think about that. I can't make you do that. I can't force you to do anything. Moderators will try their damnedest to force you, but I'm not going to try, and neither should you.